now for a little garden talk.
We're taking your plant and garden questions.
Sounds like an SNL thing.
Yeah, hi, Lisa. For Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company. The number to call is 270-9933. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
All this record rain, are our plants in danger? Lawns?
Some plants might be feeling a little waterlogged, so when you look at your plants and they look a little discolored, and normally in August you would think that it's an underwatering issue, check the soil before you do any supplemental watering. A lot of things are, going to be a little stressed out.
I saw a neighbor, they had an automatic lawn thing, sprinkler running in the rain. Turn it off.
Sometimes those things I think are hard to reprogram.
They have a mind of their own.
They do.
All right, lots of calls. Let's start with Bonnie in Windsor. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
What's your question?
I have a 2-year-old hibiscus plant, and I'm wondering if it could stay out in the winter.
Bonnie, is it one with the big tropical flowers or the smaller flowers?
No, it has big flowers, 3 different color flowers on it.
That is a tropical hibiscus, and that will not survive the winter, so you're going to want to bring it in the house, put it in the sunniest window that you have, and be prepared for some leaf drop.
They will.
Because they will, but it'll be fine.
All right, bring her in.
But there's a variety with little flowers that's
There's a variety
hardier?
of little flowers, also called Rose of Sharon, which is hardy. And then there's also the hardy hibiscus, which are big flowers, but generally single-colored.
Okay.
Not
Usually
those
pink,
really
right?
pink or red.
My neighbor has one. They live outside.
Not those lurid, peach and yellow ones. Those are tropical.
Okay. All right, let's go to Linda in Janesville. Hi, Linda. What's your question?
Oh, I have a question. It started with my tomato plants. The leaves turned yellow with brown spots, and basically it spread to the stems of my tomato plants and even my apple trees. I kind of gave up on trying to stop it this year, but I think it was because it was so wet in the spring of the year. And what do I do so that this doesn't repeat maybe next year?
You have a couple different problems. What's going on in your tomato plant is some kind of blight. It's a fungal issue. What you can do is, if they're in the ground in your garden, move them to a different location next year, and then try to mulch underneath, and as they get bigger, remove any of that low foliage. The apple tree, if it's yellow spots in the leaves, and now you can start to see the little horns growing on the underside, that is indeed a rust. That's also a fungal issue. Right now, what you can do is not much. Do a good cleanup. Make sure that you get any affected foliage or fruit out of there before when you do your fall cleanup. And then what you want to do is treat for that in the spring. So as the leaves are just starting to come out, treat with a fungicide, and then after the petals, the flowers bloom and the petals drop, treat again.
All right.
Has it been a tough year for tomatoes this year?
It's been a big fungus year for everything because it's been so wet
Yeah, it just doesn't
and
dry out
warm.
and humid.
Yes, it's been horrible.
All right, George in Madison. Hi, George. What's your question?
Hi. Had some raspberry bushes were very productive for probably 30 years. About 3 years ago, all of a sudden they started developing very much smaller berries and very crumbly. My neighbor thinks it's a virus. There's no apparent damage to any part of the plant. It's not insects, so I just wonder if you've heard about it and whether there's something that can be done.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something that's ringing a bell. You're right. Insect damage would be borers, so you'd see the whole plant would be affected. I would guess, though, that maybe since they've been in for a long time and it's a well-established patch, maybe you will need to feed your patch. So in this fall, when you do the cutting back, you can put down some manure or some good compost, or in the spring, you could use a fertilizer for fruiting plants. That might help with the fruit a little bit.
Plants don't last forever. And you got,
No, but raspberries will constantly regenerate. The plant that you have now is not the same plant as 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But they need to be fed. It's a pretty hungry crop.
Sure.
And
Any
so,
berries, that's anything that produces.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Mary in Madison. Hi, Mary. What's your question?
I had a question on the, I don't know what these bugs are. They look like a beetle. They're kind of blue and green, and there's just hundreds of them. And how do we get rid of them, or do we ignore them because it's fall?
The old Japanese beetles.
Japanese beetles?
It might be Japanese beetle if they're sort of bronzy green, about as big as your thumbnail. They should be just about finished. They're usually by the end of August. They're way down. What you can do for next year is to treat your ground, your lawn, with a grubicide. That will help with the population a lot. Any sort of broad spectrum insecticide will kill them. We like to use 8. There's also something called beetle killer. If you like something organic, Captain Jack's makes a really good product that it's a little slower acting, but it's an organic product.
Captain
And
Jack's?
Captain Jack's. It's actually made from
See, I'm fungus-free.
fermented, from the insides of rum casks.
Okay.
Interesting.
I know. Gee, there you go.
Thanks, everyone, for calling. Do you want to take the...
Yes, I can take
If you're
the
on
next
the,
ones,
on
yes.
the line, stay there. Lisa will talk to you off the air. We'll see you next time.
Good
Yes,
to see you, Lisa.
indeed.
Have a nice holiday weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we'll be right